Hello everyone, we're going to do another Stampin' video today, and this one I'm going to do is a little box, so it's actually not that little, it holds quite a bit, but we're going to do these little treat boxes or little treat bags here. I'm going to show you how to make the bag, and we are using the Carried Away Designer Series paper, which is in the Celebration catalog right now. So you can get that for free in Canada when you purchase a $60 order. And we're also going to use the balloon from the Lift Me Up set that has the framelits that go with it. And that's in the Occasions catalog right now. So those are the items we're going to be using. And we're going to need our Simply Scored. And we're going to need a sheet of the DSP. And we're using half. So these sheets are 12 by 12 and we're using a piece that's 6 by 12. I wanted to be able to get 2 out of a sheet. So I wanted a large enough bag to hold some of the Easter candy. With these guys, this paper, some of this paper has balloons on it, obviously, the hot air balloons. So you want to make sure that you're cutting it so that when you fold the bag, your balloons will be straight up. At least I'm assuming that's what you want. So what you want to do is, does this one? Yes, this one has it. This one has the hot air balloons on one side. So what I did was I cut it horizontally across so that once I make my score lines, my balloons are going to be straight up when I make the bag. Okay, so we've got a 6 by 12 piece of paper. And if you were using this particular side, then you would want your balloons straight up the way you want to see them when you score. Okay, I'm going to use the other side when I finish the bag, but if you are using one of the pattern sides that you want a certain way, use that when you score. Okay, so our piece is 12 by 6, and on the long side, we're going to score at 2 7/8, 5 3/4, 8 5/8, and 11 1/2. So I knew I wanted a 1/2 inch flap, and then I just divided the rest so that they were equal, so that we'd have equal parts for our bag. And then you want to go on the short side, and you want to score at 1 3/4, and this is going to make our bottom flap. So once you're done scoring, you want to fold all of your lines. I'm going to fold them this way because, like I said, I'm going to use the blue side with the waves. And you want to make sure that all your folds line up. Let's look at all my sides. I want my little edge as well. And then I want my bottom edge. Okay, and once you've scored all of that, you're going to notice that you have this little triangle or a little rectangle right here, and that's the flap that you want to cut off. I've made bags and stuff before, and that's a pretty standard procedure, is to cut off that little flap, because this is going to be the flap that closes our little bag, and then these are going to be the bottom flaps. So what I want to do for these guys, because these guys are going to close the bottom of the bag, is I want to cut up on my 1 3/4 score line. Cut up to my 1 3/4 score line, so that you have the little flaps on the bottom. And then what we're going to do, I'm just going to pull over a piece of grid paper here. I'm going to use some fuse right along that thin edge, that little 1/2 inch flap that I wanted to close my bag. And because it's all divided evenly for our panels for our bag, this is going to fold over onto itself, which is great. You want to make sure it lines up. And then your bag is closed. Now all we need to do are the bottom flaps. This guy, because I only did the 1 3/4, it doesn't completely close, like it doesn't fold over onto itself, but it has little flaps on the bottom. So just put some of the fast fuse on both flaps of the bottom of the bag. So I have, here's my bag all closed. I have 2 side flaps that I'm just going to fold under, and then on the opposite 2 sides I put some fast fuse. So when I fold those over, they're going to overlap each other and close the bag. And then just press down on your bag, and it's done. All even. And then there is a seam in the back right here. Okay, and these sides, I want those to be on the side of the bag where this flap is. I want this to be the front and the back where it's nice and smooth. So I know that this is my side, right, where these little flaps are. So that's where I'm going to put my fingers for when I fold this in. So my folds here are smooth on the back and the front, and then you have these little gaps right here, and that's your side of your bag. So then you'll fold those in. Okay, and then you might need to poke in on the side, depending on the paper. Some of them I had to poke in, some of them I didn't. Perfect. And then we've got our little clip, and I just use some of the, I think these ones might even be retired. Any clip's going to do. We have clips in both the main catalog and the occasion, so there'll be some that you can use to close your bag. I just cut some scrap, and I just cut it to fit my greeting. I'm using the Smiles Across the Miles from the stamp set, from the Lift Me Up stamp set, this one here, and I just cut that to fit. It's actually bigger than I need it, but I just cut it to fit. I think it's an inch and a quarter, and for the white, and then I just made this one a little bigger. So you just adjust. If you have a bigger saying, make your banner a little bigger. It's easy peasy. Just make it fit. You can measure your stamp approximately and then just cut your paper to fit. So I've got this guy, stamping the Smiles, and I'm stamping it in the navy, which is one of the colors from the paper pad. And I'm putting it on the Peekaboo Peach, which is another one of the colors that's from this particular paper stack. And then I went ahead previously and I stamped in navy the big balloon, and then I cut it out on the big shot, and I just put a dimensional on the back. So for this guy, I'm just gonna randomly attach that on the front, and then stick my balloon on the side, and he's done. It's easy peasy. And then I've got my Easter candy, and it fits a lot of Easter candy. I'm so pleased. Like, look at all these little snacks. Fits them perfectly. I'm gonna close that up, and there you have it. And then here's a bunch of them. There's the green one, the mint macaron. There's one of the ones with the more hot air balloons. And then there are even some, like the Peekaboo Peach patterns, and the Smoky Slate, and the Watermelon Wonder. Though I made those more monochromatic because they don't really have a bold pattern on the front. But then this guy, this is the one that has the aerial view. So I use the balloon with that and a little bit of the Peekaboo Peach. So yeah, you can make them monochromatic, make them fit, or do as you please. Mix up the colors and the patterns. You could even use your markers on this stamp and color in the balloon different colors. Whatever works for you. But now you've got the tutorial to make this basic treat bag, which I think we've done before in different sizes. I just wanted this one a little bigger. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Go ahead and make your own, and happy stamping!